Throughout history, there have been people who have committed some of the most heinous crimes fathomable. For those crimes, they have been convicted and sentenced to death. Welcome to Death Row Executions, where we take a look into the lives of society's worst offenders. And now, your host, Air.
Hello everyone, today's story is on Donna Marie Roberts, a 79-year-old woman who is currently the only woman on Ohio's death row after being sentenced to death 3 times for taking part in her husband's murder. Michael Roberts and Pauline Tarago gave birth to their daughter Donna Marie Roberts on May 22, 1944 in Ohio. Donna was raised in Youngstown, Ohio, and although there is not much on her early life, she did have a successful education. She graduated from Austintown Fitch High School and even went to college. Aside from getting an education, though, Donna loved men and would go on to marry and divorce a couple of them throughout her many relationships. At the age of 22, Donna married her first husband, William Raymond, and the couple moved from Ohio to Miami. A few years later, in 1969 to be specific, Donna and William had their first and only child, a boy named Michael Raymond. Their relationship did not last, and the couple divorced in 1971. Now with a son, Donna chose a career path working as a plastic surgeon assistant, and she would keep the same job for a couple of decades. A year after Donna's divorce to William, she had already met and married a new man the following year in 1972. This man was Burton Gelfand, and although Donna did not have any children with Burton, they were together for longer than her first marriage. During their 8-year marriage, she converted to Judaism and changed her way of living. The two divorced, though, in 1980. The same year she was done and over with Burton, Donna met her new boyfriend, Robert Fingerhut. She didn't rush this third marriage, but the couple did move in together and bought a home in Miami. The couple finally decided to make it official, and they got married in 1983. The two of them filed for divorce, and their divorce was official in 1985, 2 years after they got married. Now, even though the couple got divorced on paper, they were still living together and acting as a married couple. They sold their home in Miami and they moved to Richmond, Virginia and lived together there. They only stayed in Virginia for a year before they decided to move yet again. Donna was missing her hometown of Youngstown, Ohio, so the couple moved back to that same town and purchased a home there in 1994. Donna was no longer working as a plastic surgeon assistant and was now managing an Avis car rental franchise with Robert at the Youngstown-Warren Regional Airport. After managing this car rental company for a few years, they then got into managing the Youngstown and Warren Greyhound bus stations. Donna and Robert were making a lot of money together, and Donna was motivated enough to open up another business. Donna opened up a restaurant by the Youngstown Greyhound bus station, and she penned it Just the Ticket. Donna was a successful woman. Actually, the couple was a very successful couple, and everyone in town knew them as a married couple, despite them being divorced. Robert claimed Donna was his wife on business deals, and on his end, he was happy, but Donna wanted more. Donna started cheating on Robert with a man named Nathaniel Nate Jackson. Nate was not as successful as Robert and did not have the same things going for himself like Robert did, but the two had a secret romance. Nate was a convicted felon that was out on parole when he met Donna. He violated his parole and was sent to prison, but the two maintained a relationship. While Nate was in prison, Donna wrote him countless letters and would speak with him over the phone about her disdain for Robert. She expressed on multiple occasions that she wanted him dead, and Nate had no issues supporting his woman. Nate is the only person Donna communicated in this way because to everyone else, Donna communicated that she was in a happy, loving marriage with Robert. Over the course of 6 months, Donna and Nate had no idea the prison had been copying their letters and recording their phone calls. In one letter, Donna complained about how Robert was too controlling with her finances and told Nate to do whatever he wanted with Robert. Donna had also communicated that if Robert ended up dead, she would be able to collect $500,000 from a life insurance policy. There were 18 calls between them, and I am going to read a bit of some of them.
I'll be home to you December 9th. All the worries will be over, baby. The next day out, I already got it in my mind. My mind made up. I'm gonna go ahead and do that the next day, okay? All right?
Oh, I just wrote to you that I didn't think that you really meant it.
What? My mind is made up. My mind made. I wrote it in my letters. You know what I'm saying, but you know. I don't like to talk too much like that, but when I come home, you know what I mean. It's going to be in full detail, okay? I'm gonna let you know how I'm going to do it and everything. I'm gonna do it for sure the next day.
And this is another call where they continue talking about murdering Robert.
You know what I'm saying? The next day after, you know what I told you I wanted to do, right?
I'm afraid, Nate.
What, you? Man.
I can't afford to lose you. I cannot lose you. Like, I will kill myself.
Just forget about it, man. When a person, man, knows what he's doing, man, that's like jinxing, man.
But what was the story with the trunk and the handcuffs? That's too involved.
Just leave it alone, alright?
It's too much involved. You're gonna leave hair, you're gonna leave prints, you're gonna...
Leave it alone, man. Leave it alone, alright? Come on, man. This ain't Perry Mason, man.
I don't want to know anything about it ever. Nate had a prison release date scheduled for December 9th, 2001, and in preparation of Nate's release date, on December 6th, 2001, Donna paid for a reservation at the Wagon Wheel Motel in Boardman. It wasn't just a regular ordinary room, though. She paid for a nice and fancy jacuzzi suite to spoil her prison hubby. When Nate got out, Donna was right there outside the prison waiting for him. Witnesses saw the two kissing and displaying other forms of public affection. Nate and Donna spent the night at the motel, and over the next few days, they were seen around town together. It seems like everyone noticed them except for Robert. A couple of days later, Donna was now flaunting Nate with no shame in the world. She even brought him around to her Greyhound location in Youngstown. One of her employees by the name of Frank Reynolds saw Donna and Nate super cozy with each other and being intimate. He shut his mouth though and said nothing about what he witnessed when Robert came in for work. By the time Robert showed up though, Nate was gone and Donna was sweet-talking Robert for money. She asked him for $3,000, but Robert said he didn't have $3,000 to give her at the moment, so his answer was no. Frank noticed that Donna was visibly upset and gave Robert a dirty look when he gave an answer she didn't like. On December 11th, at the Greyhound Youngstown location, a bus driver by the name of Jim McCoy noticed Robert working at the station by himself. Jim then left the station to drive to the Warren terminal, and when he arrived, he saw Donna and Nate. They had no issues hiding from Jim and told him, "We're trying to get out of here." The couple left town for a bit and enjoyed some Red Lobster together. They finished their meals close to 7 o'clock at night. Back at the Youngstown location, Robert had been working and clocked out at 9 p.m. and told the security guard that he was going home early that night. At 9:30 p.m., Donna was spotted by her house driving her car very slowly, even though the road was empty. Those were the last times witnesses had spotted Robert or Donna out in public before her 911 call the next day. It was a little after midnight when Donna called 911 from inside of her home. She didn't have her cell phone on her because she had given it to Nate. According to court documents, Donna told the emergency operator that something was wrong with her husband Robert and she needed assistance at their residence. Police arrived shortly after and they found Robert lying lifeless on the kitchen floor. It appeared that he had been shot multiple times. Police were now investigating the crime scene and the phone rang. Detective Sergeant Paul Monroe answered the phone and said hello, but there was a long pause. After a few more moments, the person calling hung up. Could it have been Nate checking in on Donna? Well, police were suspicious and conducted a week-long investigation. They ended up tracing the phone call, and the call came from Donna's personal cell phone, and Nate had her cell phone at the Days Inn in Boardman, Ohio. The room was booked for a whole week by none other than Donna Roberts. Investigators also looked into Donna's telephone records, and it showed that there were 6 calls from her cell phone to another telephone she had been in possession of. When police went to search the hotel room that Donna checked out, they found her fingerprints in the room. They did some more digging, and they found out that despite being in a relationship with Robert, Donna had been in a relationship with Nate for 2 years. A day after Robert was murdered, Donna was brought in for questioning. She told detectives that Robert did his thing and she did her thing sexually. She admitted to having an affair on Robert with a man named Carlos she had met 6 months prior. The detective then asked Donna if she had a relationship with anyone else, and she specifically replied by saying, "No, there's nobody else. I told you everybody." Detective Monroe then asked Donna about Nate Jackson. Donna acted like a light bulb went off in her head. "Oh, I forgot about him." After stating she forgot about Nate, she finally admitted that she had been with him for 2 years and she kept in contact with him while he was in prison. Carlos was just another man she was entertaining physically while Nate was locked up. Donna told detectives that she picked Nate up from prison on December 9th, which was the last time she saw him, and they spoke on the telephone on December 11th. Police ended up getting a hold of letters and prison phone records of the two discussing taking care of Robert. Both Donna and Nate were arrested a week after Robert was found dead because of all of the evidence that was uncovered or discovered. When Nate was interrogated, he was being uncooperative the whole time. He evaded questions and never directly admitted to being involved in the murder of Robert. At the conclusion of the interrogation, he remained tight-lipped. He didn't tell on himself, nor did he tell on Donna. Donna and Nate were both indicted on murder charges, but they had separate trials. Nate ended up admitting to killing Robert, but he claimed it was in self-defense. Throughout it all, he never ratted on Donna and claimed she had nothing to do with the murder. It did not matter what he said or what he denied, though, because the evidence against them both was substantial. Donna was found guilty by a jury of aggravated murder, and the death qualification was that she purposely caused the death with prior calculation and design. At sentencing, the trial court imposed that sentence. Her boyfriend Nate Jackson was also sentenced to death. Over the years, though, Donna did have automatic appeals. Donna's death sentence was vacated due to the trial court's failure to consider Donna's allocution during the resentencing hearing, and that referred to her having the opportunity to address the court before sentencing. Even though her lawyer stated that she told them that she did not want to speak, it did not matter, and Donna was granted a retrial, but she was sentenced to death again. After over a decade on death row, the Ohio Supreme Court reviewed another appeal and ruled in Donna's favor and vacated her death sentence for a second time. The court sent the case back to the Trumbull County Common Pleas Court for resentencing on charges of aggravated murder, aggravated burglary, and aggravated robbery. The judge who was initially supposed to retry Donna's case, Judge John Stewart, retired and passed away, so Judge Ronald J. Rice took over the case in spring of 2014. The judge did not rule in Donna's favor, and she was again sentenced to death. Fast forward to 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court decided not to review Donna's case, which upheld her conviction and death sentence. In August of 2020, Donna filed another appeal claiming ineffective counsel during her jury trial and lack of an evidence hearing during the appeal process. This time, she was allowed to address the court, and this is exactly what she said. "Good morning. Will the real Donna Roberts please stand up? Ladies and gentlemen, the real Donna Roberts stands before you. The testimony and evidence will establish that I played no part in Robert's death. The Donna Roberts you'll hear portrayed in the letters and on those tapes is not the real Donna Roberts. My attorneys will test the state's evidence and ask important questions in cross-examination. Please listen carefully for those questions. Perhaps I'll have more to say later. Regardless, I am not guilty. I am not guilty. And you'll know that when this case is over. I did not know that my attorneys were not going to give an opening statement. They did give me a piece of paper with what they wanted me to say in an opening statement. I practiced and did what they told me. They did not tell me that I was the only one who was going to speak. I wanted them to argue self-defense in this case, not for me, but Nate Jackson, my co-defendant. It was my understanding that Nate had argued self-defense at his trial. I thought that my jury should know that. To that end, I wanted Nate Jackson's video statement to be introduced into evidence because it is my understanding that he admitted that I had nothing to do with the offense. My attorneys did not discuss this strategy with him. I had paid them a lot of money. I thought that they would do the right thing for me. They did not in this regard. I wanted to testify on my behalf. I begged my attorneys to let me testify. They wavered, agreeing I should testify one day and changing their mind the next. When it came time for me to testify, they said no. I did not ask my attorneys not to say anything in closing argument on my behalf. This strategy was not discussed with me. I was shocked when they did not say anything on my behalf. They just took charge of the case, and I did not know what to say or what I should do. The court's response when denying this appeal was that her attorneys had a strategical reason why they did not want her to speak. To date, Donna is still on death row, but in 2021, Governor Mike DeWine placed a moratorium on the death penalty due to the controversy over the lethal injection. Donna has exhausted all of her appeals, though, so her next step is to pursue relief in the Northern District of Ohio Federal Court. Donna has many supporters, and they feel that it is not fair that Donna is the only woman on death row segregated from everyone else because she is lonely. She was housed in a segregation cell that was once reserved to punish inmates who committed disciplinary infractions, which was smaller than those on men's death row. She has rec time for an hour, 5 days a week, all by herself. Supporters claim that she is often forgot about and has to bang on her cell wall to remind guards to feed her, to dispose of trash, and to give her her medication. They claim Donna did not have a window to see the outside world for years, and she did not have a working TV for free time like the men did. Thank you all for watching another episode of Death Row Executions. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments below.